Year 6 and a very happy Friday to you all. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. Now, as always, please try and have a go at these questions first before you access this video. Okay, I'm looking at these questions and there's nothing here that's new learning, so fingers crossed you're able to have a go at these independently and then use the video as we would in school just to review your methods, your calculations and to mark your work. Okay, let's start with question number 1 then. 1/6 of 24. Now we know that to find 1/6 I will need to divide by 6. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. Okay, so well done to everybody that's remembered that. Let's have a look at question number 2. 53,689 add 8,014. Okay, now I can see that this is 53,000 and this is 8,000. So when I come to present my formal column method, I need to make sure that I get my 8 underneath the 3,000. We've got 50,000, 3,000. So I need to line up my digits accurately. And then when I've done that, I can do my subtraction starting in the ones with 9 subtract 4, which is 3. 8 subtract 1. Sorry everybody, I've said subtraction, it's an addition. Let me just take that out. Let's go back to the beginning. We are adding. So 9 add 4 is 13. 8 add 1 is 9. Add the 1 you've carried is 10. 6 and 1 is 7. 3 and 8 is 11. And 5 and 1 is 6. Hopefully you're in agreement then, year 6 now I've added and not subtracted with 61,703. Give that one a tick if you've got it at home. If you need to have another look at your calculation, then do pause the video now. Okay, question number 3 then. 20.61 multiplied by 10. So I'm making this number 10 times bigger. Some of us like to use a place value chart and we're familiar with drawing these at school. Now if you are using a place value chart, then because you are increasing or making this bigger by 10 times, you'll need to move each digit to the to the left. I've got my left, so to the left 1 place to give an answer of 206.1. Okay, number 4 then. 2,751 divided by 21. Okay, I think that I could probably use short division for this. Yes, I think I can. Let's start by thinking, how many times does 21 go into 2? Okay, it doesn't, so I'm going to think 21 into 27. Well, that goes once. If I count on, I'd have a remainder of 6. So now I'm thinking 21 into 65. Well, actually 21 is fairly simple to count up in because I can double 20 and I can double 1. So I don't find that too tricky. Look. 3 lots of 21 is 63, so it goes 3 times with a remainder of 2. And 21 into 21 goes once. So hopefully year 6 you're in agreement with 131. You can give that a neat little tick and we can move on to question number 5. But do pause the video if you need to. Okay, question number 5. We haven't done one of these for a little while. So let's just have a look at it carefully and think about what we need to do. So we've got 34.8 subtract 9.75. Now, some of you will want to do this mentally, and that's fine. others of you will like to use a calculation or a method. Okay, so that is also fine if that's what you're going to do, but you will need to think very carefully about lining the digits up accurately. So I'm going to start by putting 34 on the top because I know 34 is larger than 9. And then I'm going to put 9.75 underneath. Now I know 9 represents 9 ones, and I know the 4 of 34 represents the ones. So I'm going to use that to help me line up the rest of my number. And then to help me, I'm going to put some zeros in as placeholders. So there we have our subtraction set up accurately. Now it might be worth Year 6 pausing the video and just checking that if you've used the subtraction method like this, that you've presented that accurately, because if you haven't done this part, then the rest of your answer is going to be incorrect. Okay, so we're going to start with what is the hundredths this time, with 0 subtract 6, which I know I need to exchange to be able to do. 10 subtract 6 is 4, and 7 subtract 7 is 0. Don't forget the decimal point. 4 subtract 9, again I'm going to need to exchange. 14 subtract 9 is 5, and 2 subtract 0 is 2. 25.04. Okay, so that concludes that part of our arithmetic today. If you'd like to pause the video and go back and have another look at anything, then that's fine. You can do so now. We're going to move on to our 3 questions. So first of all, our green question for today is a question that anybody in our class can do and hopefully feel successful with today. So Kirsty says, when you double the size of an acute angle, you always get an obtuse angle. Explain why Kirsty is not correct. So is not correct. Well, let's have a look then at exactly what Kirsty is saying. And again, I'm going to do my underlining here to help me understand. So when you double, so double is the same as multiplying by 2, the size of an acute angle, okay, an acute angle is less than 90 degrees, yeah, okay, you always get an obtuse angle. So an obtuse angle is bigger than 90 degrees but less than 180. Explain why Kirsty is not correct. Okay, well let's think of a couple of examples then, first of all, to get us started. So let's think of an acute angle. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. I'm going to start with 10 degrees. Just picked at random there, 10 degrees. Now if I double the size of the 10 degrees, I would get 20 degrees. 20 degrees is not an obtuse angle. Remember, an obtuse angle is greater than 90. Okay, so that shows that she's not correct. Let's think of a more random one now, shall we? What about, let's go a little bit larger. What about 27 degrees? There's my acute angle. It's less than 90 degrees. If I double 27, I get 54 degrees. Again, 54 degrees is not an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is greater than 90 but less than 180. So again, I'm showing that she's not correct. Okay, let's go a little bit larger this time. Let's go to 45 degrees. I'm going to double 45. Okay, double 45 would be 90 degrees. Ooh. Now 90 degrees, you will always get an obtuse, it's the always part that's bothering me. That's not true. So she has got an obtuse angle here, but you don't always get an obtuse angle. Now it says explain, so I'm going to need to write a short sentence to explain why Kirsty is not correct. So Kirsty is not correct because you do not always get an obtuse angle if you double an acute angle. For example, 10 degrees doubled is 20 degrees, or 27 degrees doubled is 54 degrees. Okay, so she's not always correct. So sometimes Kirsty is correct, but not always. Okay, so there we are. There's my sentence to explain. Now, if you've just done the top part, year 6, you wouldn't get any marks. You wouldn't get a tick because it says explain. So you'll need to have written a sentence. Now, I'm going to rub this sentence out in a moment. So if you need to have a look at that and to use it as a guide for your own calculations, then pause the video now, please. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this now to give us some space for question number 2. Okay, question number 2 then. There's quite a lot of information in this one, so I'm going to underline. I might do a jotting if I need to, or drawing, and then I can calculate. So, Seb saved up for a new skateboard that costs £40. The table shows how much money he saved each week. So we've got the week number at the top and the amount saved. In week 1 he saved £5, in week 2 he saved £4, in week 3 £2, and so on. In which week did Seb reach half the amount he needed for the skateboard? Okay, so let's think. He had to save 40, so half the amount would be £20. Okay, so I need to just calculate now where I get to 20. So 5 and 4 is 9, add 2, 11, add 4, 15, add 3, 18, add 4, 22. So in week 6, he saves half the amount that he needs for his skateboard. Okay, so let's have a look at the 2B then. Now, if Seb had saved an extra £1 each week, in which week would he have reached his target of £40? So let's start by thinking this would actually be 6 because it's an extra pound. This is going to be 5. This will be 3. This will be 5. This will be 4. This will become 5. 7, 5, 4, 6. So this time I want to know when he reached his target of £40. So 6 and 5 is 11. Add 3 is 14. Add 5, 19. Add 4, 23. Add 5, 28. Add 7, 35. Add 5 is 40. So in week 8, he managed to save his £40. So hopefully then you've got in week 6 for 2A and week 8 for 2B. Okay, let's go on to question number 3, which was one that definitely had me thinking this morning. So I hope you enjoyed the challenge of this one, year 6. So we've got a rule here to follow to be able to answer this number sequence and to find the missing numbers. So let's just have a little look at what we know, what we can see. So the rule to get each number in a sequence is subtract, which means take away, the previous number from 100, then divide the answer by 2. Here is part of the sequence. Write the 2 missing numbers. Okay, so the previous number, so if I'm looking at this missing number first, this is the previous number, 33.75. And it says I need to subtract the previous number from 100. So I need to do 100 subtract 33.75. Now, I'm not going to show you how to do that, Year 6, because I know some of you will have done that mentally and others of you will have done the formal column method. But hopefully you've all got an answer of 66.25. Now, if you don't have that answer, you need to go back and have another look. Okay, check that you've lined up the digits accurately with the column methods. And if you're still not sure, you can speak to me on Zoom about that one. Okay, so I've subtracted the previous number from 100. Now I need to divide the answer by 2, which I can do mentally here. So half of 66 is 33, and half of 0.25 is 125. Okay, make that decimal point clear. So I know that this number is 33.125. Okay, so that's that rule worked for this one. But this time, this missing number, actually I don't know what the previous number was. I've only got the number in front of it, which tells me that I'm going to have to do the inverse to find this number. And if I'm doing the inverse, I work backwards. So the last step, the second thing we had to do was divide. Now the inverse is multiply. So I know I've got to multiply by 2. So 40 multiplied by 2 is 80. Okay, and then my next step, again, the inverse of subtract is add. So I've got to add, no I haven't, sorry. My second step, sorry, Year 6, not thinking. Second step would be 100 subtract 80 to find the difference, which is going to be 20. 100 subtract 80 is 20. Now I can check if I've got that right by following the rule. So the number before 40 is 20. So it says subtract the previous number from 100. So 100 subtract 20 is 80. Divide the answer by 2. 80 divided by 2 is 40. So I know that I've got that correct. Okay, Year 6, there was a lot to think about in that question, so don't worry if you've got yourself in a pickle this morning or you're not sure what to do. We can always talk about it on Zoom today. Okay, don't be afraid to ask for help. Please send your work in to me on Class Dojo. But I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you very soon.